Hello and welcome to the Easily Excitable podcast. My name is Top and with me this week is Shoban. Hey man, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Things are going well. I am excited and there's so much to talk about. So yeah, let's get into it.
Perfect.
Um yeah, so yesterday, we're recording this on Saturday. Why am I doing this? I'm time stamping it immediately. ah! Yesterday there was like loads going on. The first thing of which I did in the day was, well, I woke up at like 3:30 a.m. So we'll just ignore that section of the day
Oh,
and be like, once Rachel's gone to work, the first thing I did was listen to the new Ninja Sex Party covers album, and it's really good. There's quite a few interesting songs on there.
okay.
And yeah, it's a new bunch of covers. Like they've got "We Built This City on Rock and Roll," and yeah, there's just so many awesome tracks. They covered Down Under, um, like, I come from a land down under. Yeah,
Men at Work? Yes.
yes, that's it. That's who I was trying to remember. Photographed by Def Leppard, owner of a lonely heart.
Oh,
Uh, covered Safety Dance as well.
yes.
Yeah, and Don't Fear the Reaper. So they've got quite a wide range of different covers on this album. I'm not going to go through every track because some of them I don't recognize. They did Sledgehammer as well, and
Perfect.
yeah, there's some on there I don't recognize. Like I don't know who the original artists are, but like they're all really good. I really like what they've done with the covers, like the reinterpretations that they have, and yeah, it came out yesterday. I listened to it once, which is unlike me. Usually I'll listen to an album the day it comes out like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, on repeat, please. But there was so much else going on yesterday that like we'll get to that as well. But
Yep.
yeah, there's been a lot of music recently that I'm just like, I like this.
There's so much
And
music out, like, just in the past 3 weeks. Like,
mhm,
I think I've been in the same situation where new albums have come out, and I've only
yeah,
been able to listen to it once. Because by
uh-huh,
the time I finish an album, I'm like, oh, these guys also released a project. Oh, this also came out. It's just, there's
yeah.
so much.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just like, I just want to listen to more music. But I've been spending my time listening to quite a bit of other stuff as well, like podcasts and just trying to watch and keep up with shows that are going on. So, Rooster Teeth recently put out like Good Morning from Hell, which is a podcast with Blaine and Chris
Yep.
and like random guests at times. Blaine plays a character called Clayton, who is Satan's brother, and I think it's hilarious.
It's honestly really funny. Every time I've seen them perform those characters, it's been
Hmm.
like I feel like in other things that they've worked on, they're like, okay, we have to have a certain theme, like we can't go just all out. But here they have the ability to just explore every possibility that they can do, which I
Yeah,
absolutely love.
I think it's funny that like Blaine has his insistence on like trying to get the names of things, like when he's like, yes, this is my hell phone, it's like a cell phone in hell. Like he does that so much that you can hear Chris like groan slightly. He's like, oh, this is what we're going with. It's just the funniest thing. I'm like enamored with it at the moment. I just can't wait for a new episode to come out. I think it comes out a new episode every Monday,
Okay.
and you know, it's hilarious. It's like, this is the best. It's so funny. And then they've also had Arizona Circle come out recently as well, which
Right.
is like, I think it's written by the guys at Funhouse.
I wouldn't be
Um,
surprised.
yeah, and I think I've only watched one episode. I know there's like 4 out and available at the moment,
Hmm.
but yeah, really really enjoyable. It's like a sketch show, but there's like a running narrative through each of the episodes, and yeah, I know. Have I watched 2 episodes? I can't really remember. My memory is going a bit weird at the moment because I'm just like, yeah, what am I trying to do? And like, I'll forget what I'm doing in the
Right.
moment because like I don't have anything to focus on during the days. So
Mm,
whenever I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do something, I'm like, what was it that I wanted to do? Or Rachel and I were watching like little vines the other day, and I knew exactly what vine I wanted to watch, and then like 2 seconds later, I couldn't remember it at all. And it took until the next day, and we saw it in a different compilation. I was like, "That's the one I was thinking of yesterday." And so, yeah, things are a bit weird going on, but that's the thing about just sitting around waiting for paperwork to come through.
Exactly.
It's crazy, crazy. Rooster also had Extra Life last weekend.
I
Did
can't.
you watch much of it?
I watched bits and pieces of it. I still can't believe it was only a week ago. Like that
Yeah.
is insane.
There's like so much going on.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Like I couldn't really, because of prior commitments and stuff. I could only jump in and out.
Yeah.
I was actually very happy to see Austin Creed show up. That was
Yeah.
like I was so, because I've always wanted Up Up Down Down to do a partnership with like Achievement Hunter.
Yeah, I
And
really
I've
wanted
seen
to see
him.
that too.
I've seen him on like Game Attack maybe once, and then he did a lot of stuff with Kind of Funny. But
Yes.
for him to actually show up, and these guys go crazy, and it's just like he's allowed to go beyond just like the video game space. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube channel where they upload every single hour of Extra Life, but they separate it by the segment.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I just keep watching the werewolf one because
Oh yeah.
when he chops everybody,
Yeah.
it's just
Oh, so funny. So funny.
I couldn't believe how much pain that Sam could take. He literally took two
Yeah.
chops right away, and then he went straight to the back and took two chops to
Yeah.
the back.
Oh, that was crazy. I was like, oh no. No. Yeah, that was hilarious. And yeah, the whole Extra Life stream was great. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. You reminded me that last weekend was also AEW's Full Gear. And I was
That's
like,
right.
oh my god. I watched that, and that was mental. It was so good.
They went all out. It was fantastic. Just
Yeah.
like everything that they did, like story wise, even the matches too, like the Moxley versus Kenny Omega match.
That was amazing.
Oh my goodness, that was.
I was caught out by that match. I was like, I don't really want to watch it because I'm like not really into hardcore style.
Right.
And then like they told like such a story. I was like, oh my god, it was so good. And I'm like, the violence was ridiculous.
See, like I haven't seen people like that, or people be able to tell a story like that through violence since like Cactus Jack. Like watching old
Yeah.
ECW clips, or like
Mhm.
when Foley was out in Japan doing like the
Mhm.
death matches and like the piranha
Yeah.
matches. It was
Yeah.
very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Also, just in the I wanted to get your opinion too, because we never talked about it. What do you think about CM Punk making his surprise return?
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm torn. I have no idea what to make of it. Like he's signed to Fox rather than WWE.
Right.
So, what's gonna happen there? I don't know. Maybe he'll turn up on like SmackDown and just be like, "Hi guys."
Yeah.
Who knows?
Even if he's just a commentator, I'd be okay with it. Cause
Yeah,
he'd be a
absolutely.
great color commentator.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah. So there's that, and then like the next weekend, yeah, it'll be like a few days after this
Yeah.
goes out. There's gonna be Survivor Series and Takeover War Games. I'm just like,
yeah.
it's gonna be so good. This is such a
This-
good time to be a wrestling fan.
It's unbelievable. It's one thing just going back to CM Punk, I kind of want to see him just interact with Samoa Joe, like on WWE
Yeah.
programming, because
Uh-huh.
it's like I haven't seen them both in a ring since what, Ring of Honor
Probably
days?
since ROH, yeah.
Yeah, like since their classic fights, and it's like it's happening. Like they're there.
Yeah, they're finally together,
Oh.
which is crazy. It's so good. I'm very excited about it all. It just opens up so much, and there's so much good wrestling going on at the moment.
Yep.
Like what was on this week on NXT? Like, yeah, there was the ladder match between Io Shirai and Mia Yim.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen it at all, but
I haven't been able to keep up with it. So the thing is, a lot of the wrestling both
Mhm.
AEW and like any WWE programming. I have to
Yeah.
catch like the highlights the next day.
Fair enough.
So it's like and I'm on such a huge like WWE backlog because there's
Yeah.
so much stuff that's happening. It's
Yeah.
like
Like I can't watch Raw and SmackDown live because we don't have cable or anything, but it'll
right.
go on the network like a month later.
Okay.
So I am waiting for mid-December when the Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan match goes on
That's gonna be
because I'm just
so
like,
good.
I cannot wait. So I'm very excited about seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cannot wait for that to be available.
Oh my goodness.
And then, what was I going to say next? I can't remember. Oh yeah, the Io Shirai versus Mia Yim match was crazy. Like Io jumped off, like was on the outside, like and springboard off the top rope and did a drop kick into Mia Yim, who was holding a ladder,
Oh
and the
my.
ladder went back and like cracked her across the top of the nose and like cut it wide open. And then she carried on the match and she got pushed off a ladder to the outside through another ladder.
Come
And
on.
apparently she's like, she might have broken her ribs as well
Jeez.
from that. It was like, oh my god, she took such a beating. So now she's out of the War Games match. It's
Of
just like,
course.
oh no. But maybe they'll put Dakota Kai in because I think she lost against Shayna Baszler the week before. Like, it's really good time to be a fan of
Yeah.
women's wrestling as well because they're
Yeah.
like getting such a high profile,
Oh my
like
goodness.
especially in NXT.
Yeah.
But I really like what they're doing with Asuka and what's her name?
Oh,
Oh no, a tag partner.
yeah.
The tag team champion with her. Kairi Sane,
Yeah.
that's it. Because you kind of got Kairi Sane who's like the perfect baby face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like always smiling and happy. And they've kind of got her like in a broken Matt Hardy style
Yeah.
gimmick. And she like you catch her, you just see her, and she's smiling because like things are going well, and there's cheers, and then she's like, "Oh no, I've got to be mean, sour face," and it's like, "Oh, this is so funny to watch." But also like just the character and like the fact that she wears the belt around her neck rather
Right.
than around her waist or anything, so she just looks a bit crazy. It's really really funny.
Oh.
I think it's like really really good.
I-
And like Bailey's turned heel
Yes!
as well, and like that's the best thing.
It's so good.
Like
it's
I'm like,
unbelievable.
everyone was like, "What are they doing with Bailey? Why is she being a bad guy?" And now she's a bad guy, and she's absolutely killing it. It's like this is the best.
It's because they tried to push her for so long as like the face, which is good. Like she plays a great face, but they didn't know
Yeah.
how to push her as a face. So at this point, she's like, you know what? Like let's just switch it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah,
so.
I saw
good.
Triple H's tweet the other day. It's just like, "Oh, you've returned home finally," and then she just responded, "Suck it." I was like, "Yeah, Bailey, responding with a D-Generation X meme." Woo! I was like, "This is the best."
Oh man.
Oh, so yeah, wrestling's in like an incredible spot right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm so happy. Like I've having to go through just years of liking wrestling, but not wanting to watch it just because it's so like
Mm-hmm.
so watered down. It's so samey. Like
Yeah.
and like trying to actually find good matches, you have to really know where to look for it and everything. It's like
Yeah.
it was such a high barrier to entry to be
Mm-hmm.
a wrestling fan and watch good wrestling. But
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, it's readily available now for everybody to come and check out.
Oh, it's on AEW Dark, and it's Kenny Omega versus Joey Janela in a no stipulation match on AEW Dark on YouTube. There's just an hour-long show that's just really good and comes out every week, and it's produced like a TV show.
It's genius. Like
So good.
I love AEW Dark. Like it's just ah
It's so good. It's just so worth it as well. It just hypes everything up, and it's just
absolutely.
like there's other things that have gone on, but here's at least 2 free matches that are just TV quality at least.
Exactly.
Just crazy. It's such a good time.
It is.
And yeah, I've been keeping up with Dark because Dark's the easiest thing to watch
Right.
because it's available and on YouTube where I'm looking to watch most things. NXT is also like readily available to watch because I have a network subscription,
Right.
which means that War Games and Survivor Series will be easy to watch as well.
Right.
I just need to make sure I'm doing nothing next weekend. Plans are afoot.
Yep.
because the war. I don't even know what's going to be better, war games or
Yeah,
war games or Survivor Series at this point,
that's gonna
because
be
the
tough.
NXT's on Survivor Series 2, which gives us matches we couldn't dream of seeing.
Yep.
And now I'm just like, I'm just so excited.
Uh, is NXT doing Starcade as well, or was that just like a one-off that one time?
I think that was just a one-off.
I feel like NXT should have like their own like pay-per-view, which is like their own thing, and it should be because if they took the War Games approach, they should
Uh-huh.
take a lot of the other because they own the properties to a lot of the WCW stuff. Like they should
Uh-huh.
release like the Halloween Havoc and Starcade and
Yeah.
like Bash at the Beach, or no, Great American Bash. Just oh no, Bash at the Beach. Yeah, it was both.
Bash at the Beach. Great American Bash is WWE, you know?
I think it was both. Like
Okay.
I think at one point they renamed it or something like that. Like,
Okay.
but that was like 2000s WCW, which no one talks about.
Yeah. Because it all fell apart.
Yeah.
Shocking. So, yeah. Oh, man. Such a good time. There's been so much going on, because the next thing we're going to talk about is Diablo 4 got announced.
Yeah.
Which is... It probably got announced 2 weeks ago.
That was oh my good. Like
That's what was 2 weeks ago.
There we
Because I
go.
was in Houston that weekend seeing Andres and Fernando and Mindy getting married.
what'd you think of the trailer when you saw it?
Um, yeah, it looks good. It looks all right. I
Mhm.
just hope it. I don't know. I don't know. I need to see more.
Right.
We'll get on to why I need to see more in a few minutes, but like, it looks okay.
Yeah.
I'm not enamored by it. I really want to play it, but I also want to see more about it first.
Right. The thing is, when it comes to me, like I am a sucker for Blizzard lore. Like
Mhm.
I feel like for whatever reason, the stories they tell, I'm always like I'm right in there. Like I always like I love it. Doesn't matter if it's Warcraft related, Starcraft related, Overwatch, or Diablo.
Mhm.
So when when you find out that it's Lilith and Lilith is like the main evil, you're like, oh, this
Ooh.
is this is this is meant for the people that like really kind of understand what's going. Because Lilith is basically uh like that's basically big evil in my
Mhm.
books, because yeah, she's the one, she's half of the reason why Nephilims exist, right? Like
Yeah.
oh, so it's just seeing that she's out now. Oh, it's gonna be interesting. Gameplay wise,
Mhm.
yeah, I think I'm on the same boat. I kind of need to see more
Yeah.
because
I need
it's
to see more. I need to have people with hands-on experience like, talk
exactly
about it.
exactly
Although Riker did like a 2-hour video on it, so I kind of need to hunt that down.
okay.
Maybe see what's going on there. But there is a game that's competing with it that's kind of being played by both of us at the moment. Although
Yep.
I've obviously played it significantly more, considering I've been talking about it for like a year.
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I honestly the reason why I decided to get into Path of Exile like again and
Mhm.
really give it a shot
Mhm.
was a the number of games I'm playing right now is significantly limited.
Yeah.
Just because like financial reasons and stuff, it's like okay, I can't spend all the money on all the games. So let me like I canceled my WoW subscription months ago. So I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I need to just get like 2 or 3 games. Let me just focus on those. So I was I bought Dragon Quest 11. So I was
Uh
like,
huh.
okay, there's my RPG and turn-based stuff going on. Which, by the way, fantastic story.
Yeah.
It's really good. I wasn't expecting much out of it, like
Mhm.
because I had never really got into JRPG stories. Like
Yeah.
I'd play them and I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like any Final Fantasy I'd play, I'm like, oh, okay, this is whatever. No, Dragon Quest 11, it's like I don't know how, but you get emotionally attached to like all of the characters, and
Mhm.
it's crazy. So I've been playing that. Um, in like real life stuff, I've been playing a lot more D&D.
Yeah.
So I managed to find an Adventures League locally. So I've been playing Descent into Avernus, and
Mhm.
I also found a group over here where we're going to be testing out the new Eberron content that's coming out next Tuesday.
Cool.
And then yeah, just I was like, all right, let's test out this Path of Exile stuff. So Yeah, I jumped
Mm-hmm.
in, just started playing it, and I guess now it's kind of clicking with me more now than it did when I first jumped in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely like it a lot more.
Cool. Cool. Um. So yeah, like Path of Exile, I've been playing a lot, a
Mm,
lot, a lot, a lot. Um. You've kind of jumped in at an odd time as well
okay,
because on December 13th,
okay,
uh, they're going to be updating it to version 3.9, which is like at the same time there's going to be an Atlas slash Endgame rework
okay.
called Conquerors of the Atlas, and the new league is going to start, which is called Metamorph.
Ooh,
Um, at the moment we're in Blight League,
okay,
and the War for the Atlas, which is the Endgame like stuff,
right.
was released with I think it was 3.1, which was 2 years ago.
Oh wow, okay,
And so they're now updating it to updating the end game. So and like it's going to be more customizable and like it's going to change how the whole game really works. And this was announced yesterday. As well as that, they announced that at some point in the future there's going to be Path of Exile 2, which was what they were hyping for their 4.0 announcement, but it's all going to be contained within the same game.
jeez,
And so there's going to be, yeah, it's going to be like a new 7-act campaign that like happens 20 years after the original campaign of Path of Exile. And so that's going to be coming out in the future. They don't know when exactly, but it's the thing that they wanted to put up against Diablo 4.
okay,
And because of that, it's a significant rework of a lot of stuff. Like at the moment we've got skill gems and stuff like that, and you've got items with sockets on them.
mm,
They're going to be changing that kind of stuff. You'll have 8 available main skills essentially. Whereas at the moment there's a bunch of stuff about it.
right.
But yeah, they're changing the end game. But Metamorph itself, which is the new league that's coming out, like I said, it's coming out on the 13th of December. Essentially, when a new league rolls round, you'll start a character from fresh.
Okay,
So I'm going to go through and I'm going to delete some of the characters that I've got. So I've got room for characters because
right.
this league I like hit the character, like the amount of characters you can have
Oh
cap.
jeez.
I think it's 20 characters you can have, and so I just yeah had too much stuff. So I was like, I'll get rid of that. And then yeah, Metamorph will roll around. It's focused around gathering fragments and then putting those fragments together to create random bosses. And that's the kind of focus of the league to try and defeat different bosses, which I don't know how it's all going to work. They haven't really explained much about it other than that's what's going to be happening, and the fact that the end game's changing with Conquerors of the Atlas, which is going to be a thing that will persist over time, whereas the league will only last for 3 months.
Got it. Okay.
We're currently in Blight League, which will end probably looking at it on the 8th or 9th of December.
Okay.
And then there'll be like a few days where they do the transition between League and Standard, and then Standard and back to League. And then, yeah, you'll start a character from fresh when Metamorph starts, and then the whole economy gets reset. The problem is with the changes to Conquerors of the Atlas from War of the Atlas, there's influenced items at the end of the game that you can get either Elder or Shaper at the moment.
Okay.
They're essentially going away, which means the whole of the end game and all the builds that exist at the moment that rely on any of those influenced items is going to essentially change significantly
Oh
and
wow.
disappear, meaning things are going to be very, very different. Which means this is like a really significant update, and it's a good time to be into the game
Hmm.
to like understand how things tie together and everything. But it does, yeah, does mean, yeah, there are some interesting things, and it's definitely gonna change significantly. But that doesn't really matter because last time I saw you were playing, you were probably in like Act 1 or 2
Yeah,
rather than at
I'm
the end of the
really
game.
early on. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you make of the game, and like what kind of things and skills have you been using so far?
Um,
Like what do you like about it, I guess?
So I like really kind of the ability to swap out like the thing is normally again I'm kind of comparing it to Diablo 3. Like Diablo
Mm-hmm.
3 you have set skills that are all there and you can link everything on there, but
Mm-hmm.
with Path of Exile there's so many different options that you can swap in and out and change up and really kind of linking linking gems within each item set and the ability to upgrade gear. That's a cool thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have say you're like when you start I was like picking up everything, right, and then you guys were like
Yeah.
no don't like
Don't
just
bother with that.
just it's not worth it, you're gonna run out of space early. So then
Yeah.
I like I had a bunch of whites on and I had like maybe a blue, but then I was
Mm-hmm.
getting a lot of the upgrades where they were like, oh, turn a regular item into a rare item. So I would use those and get upgraded and do things like that. So I think the
Mm-hmm.
ability to get gear like that is very good,
Mm-hmm.
because that way it's not like okay you're not just relying on RNG. It's like okay have you kind of are relying on RNG, but it's like a controlled version of it.
Yes.
Um, it and like I think the yeah, so like that's a really like good thing that I've kind of seen, and even though you do have a lot of quests and stuff, it's not linear. You can kind of go and like do whatever you want and go around, and you're not
Yeah.
forced to kind of be in one specific area. You can go through multiple paths, and the maps are bigger as well. So
Mm-hmm.
like some people might not like it because it's like if they're just trying to burn through the quest, it's like okay, I don't know where to go. But if you're playing the first time, I think it's good that it's like okay, it seems a lot more open world and a lot more immersive in
Yeah.
comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think the only thing that I would say is like a little bit frustrating, but again, it's more so of like a external thing than really like an in-game thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is when like I'm trying to figure like I'm playing I believe it's called the Duelist, and um like so I've been looking up like strategies and builds
Mm-hmm.
and trying to stick to the build when it comes to getting the gems is very difficult because it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, okay, you should like at these levels you should try to get these gems, and then when you get to this act you should swap in. They're like, oh no, just here are the end game gems. Like this is what you need to find. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I don't have any of those gems. I can't get any of those gems yet. Like, what should I use in the interim?
Yeah.
So, but again, that's
It,
more of like that's more of like how the guides are written versus how to play the game.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so
There's
it's
definitely some skills that are good to use while leveling, and some that are only good in the end game once you can get them properly linked.
e-
Like
exactly
tornado shot, I would never recommend leveling with,
right.
but recommending like leveling with something like ice arrow is much better for a ranger.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, like there are level gates to each of the gems,
hmm
so
So
it's just yeah, it just depends really. Like I would
exactly
just use anything you like the look of and just link it with appropriate support gems until
right,
you can get the item that you want to be using. Like there are some guides that are just like use this skill until this level and then blah 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 blah.
right.
Um, definitely like Enki's Arc Witch, which is like what the first guide I properly followed.
hmm
It's like here's how to play the witch. Here are all the things you need to know. Here's the leveling guide, what you need to pick up in which acts, which quests you need to do, and which choices you need to make. Like
Right.
especially in Act 2,
hmm
there's a decision you need to make that is surrounding bandits,
Okay.
and they give different rewards depending on what you do.
Okay. So
Um,
it might be honestly it might just be the guide that like I might be just choosing a guide
yeah,
that's meant for a more like seasoned player,
yeah,
like rather
mhm,
than sort of like a beginner's like leveling guide.
yeah,
Because they're literally like, oh yeah, you get these weapons, you have these gems, and you pick Cyclone. Have fun. And you're like,
yeah.
what did
You don't get Cyclone until level 28, so like
exactly? It's like, what do you?
that guide's useless
Yeah,
until you get to them. But just yeah, use something like Double Strike and
that's what I've been doing.
Ancestral Call support. Like that's
Yeah,
probably the best thing to do.
yeah. So I think I might just need to swap the guide and like find like a good leveling guide. Just
Hmm.
pick one. But again, that's not the game's fault. That's just like me trying to find a proper guide.
Yeah, just yeah, in the forums, like that's one of the things I do is I just troll the forums and see, oh,
Mm,
what kind of character do I want to play, and then like what skill do I want to play. Essentially, like you're playing skills rather than you're playing certain characters.
right.
In a way, you choose the skill first, and then choose which character would like be able to benefit you the most.
Exactly.
And so it's very different in that way to Diablo.
Right.
You'd never be like, oh, I want to play a whirlwind barbarian. It's always a barbarian, and whirlwind's like one of the abilities that it has.
Right.
But you always have to play barbarian to play that. Whereas I can play Rain of Arrows on a ranger, or I could play Rain of Arrows on a I want to say assassin, but that's not the word. It's the
Uh
other one. It's the duelist. No,
yeah, I think it is
not
is
duelist. No, it's the shadow. It's
oh,
the shadow because the shadow has like a lot of poison damage kind of stuff.
got it.
But so does the ranger because they have a decent like ascendancy that gives poison proliferation throughout packs of enemies.
Mm,
So like you can choose either of those character classes to play that skill. You can actually play it with duelist as well. Like there are duelist builds for Rain of Arrows, but
that's
you know, you can play any class with anything. I wouldn't play like Rain of Arrows on a witch because it just there's no real support from
right.
ascendancies or anything. But you know, I'm sure someone's managed to do it somewhere.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's one thing I also kind of noticed with I don't know if you've noticed because you've been continuously playing the game, whereas
Hmm.
I think the last time I played was last year when I was like, oh, let's give it a shot. I think they've updated the graphics too in the span of a year because when I looked
Yeah.
at the game originally, I was like, it's like it just didn't look that appealing to me. It kind of looked like everyone was clay and the world was clay, and it was like, oh, okay, here. But then when I started playing this year, I was like, oh
Hmm.
man, like these actually look like really good. Like they look like fleshed out characters a little bit more.
Yeah. They just do it incrementally with
Mm.
each of their updates, so it's less hard to tell. Wait, no, it's harder to tell. That's what I was trying to say.
Right.
Yeah, it's harder to tell because I've been playing for like a year and a bit now.
Right.
That it's just incrementally getting better because they'll just push graphical improvements and improve particle effects and things like that just
Mm.
with their updates. But they'll change like one significant thing each time. They did a bunch of animation changes with 3.7, the Legion update. So that was Legion before Blight.
Okay.
Blight's 3.8. We've got 3.9 coming up. And they do them every 13 weeks. Although I think this one is 14 weeks. Like Blight's going on 14 weeks rather than 13 weeks.
Mm.
Because
Okay.
originally it should have been scheduled to change on December 6th, but it's December 13th now.
Right.
I think it's just so that they've got time to like let the announcements come out properly
Mm. Okay.
because otherwise it would be 3 weeks from the announcement, which was yesterday, to the new league starting. It's like that's not much time. Usually there's significant amounts of information. And
Right.
also over the next week we're going to get a timetable of when all the information is going to be coming out. An announcement for announcements. Yeah, we all love those.
uh, they do that a
And
lot now. Like, just they announce that they're gonna have an announcement.
yeah,
Just
yeah, but yeah, with like Path of Exile 2 coming, Path of Exile Mobile, and there's so much good stuff going on with Path of Exile at the moment. I'm really, really looking forward to the new league. Uh, Blight's been really, really good to me. Like I like two of the guys I played Destiny 2 with, which is also free to play at the moment, which is mental. I'm playing that on PC too. Now I'm just like, oh, I'll play a lot of that. The guys I played that with have just got into Path of Exile in this league.
right.
And so I'm like, if I'm up and I'm around and they're playing, it's just like, oh yeah, let's just play. Something I didn't think I'd do, like there were challenges associated with each league. I
Mm.
was like, so there are 40 challenges, and getting 40 challenges is an ordeal and a nightmare in itself.
Right.
And I was like, I'll probably get 24 because you get microtransactions rewards at like 12, 24, and 36.
Okay.
I was like, I think I'll be able to do 24. And as of Thursday, I cleared the 36th challenge I needed.
Jeez.
So I was like, I've played this game too much. I need to stop. I need to put it down. And yeah, like I wasn't expecting to do that. Now that I'm done it, I'm just like, oh, okay. I suppose it's possible.
Right.
But also, I'm unemployed because I'm just waiting for paperwork to come through. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
I've got time to do it.
Of course.
But it's definitely made me feel like, oh, I just need to apply myself to actually get it done. And,
Right.
It doesn't even, it's just RNG for a lot of the challenges. So we'll see. But yeah, I really like Path of Exile. I'm glad you're getting into it. We should play sometime anyway.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to play. I'm free a lot, so
Perfect.
I'm around.
No, I'm game.
Yeah.
Like whenever, like it's really busy for me in general right now. But whenever I'm free and I got some time, I will absolutely let you know and we'll jump in.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, cool. Anything else you want to add?
Not too much. I think that was like we covered a lot of stuff.
We covered a lot of stuff.
There's so much. We became like like it was a wrestling discussion, then it became a Path of Exile discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
We
goodness.
touched on Diablo 4. We talked a bit about music. Extra Life.
Oh
Rooster
my-
Teeth stuff.
There's so much stuff we talked. Like I don't even know what else is left.
Yeah.
Just-
Cool. Well, where can we find you across the internet?
You can find me at Nabos NABOHS on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that I still can't believe I still managed to get all of that. Like with the amount of people that are online now, and I've been able to keep have this since 98, 99. Just unbelievable.
Nice. I can be found across the internet at Destroy Topmart at Ithafar. That's YTHAFAR. That's generally most places. Twitter and Instagram mainly. Instagram more so than Twitter, but I have my own website, ithafar.com, which is where I post a blog every single day. And I have done, as of recording, for 2,147 days or so. So it's quite a few days.
That's
just a little
unbelievable. Like I can't. Oh, that's so good,
Yeah.
man. Just.
Oh well. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Shoban, for being my guest this week.
Thank you for having me, man. It's always good just sitting down and talking and catching up on everything.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. And have an exciting week. Goodbye.